My story begins, like most stories do, by disappointing my mother. You see, she prided herself, and still does, on being a liberal, ahead-of-the-times parental figure. She had the "it's okay to be gay" conversation with my brother and I, probably when we were still in the womb. I remember the first time I told her I wasn't a lesbian. She looked so disappointed. Can you imagine the street cred she would have had by having a lesbian daughter in the 1990s? Not one to take no for an answer, this conversation repeated itself after every breakup with a boy. After crying on her shoulder, she would remind me that it would be okay if I were a lesbian. I assured her time and time again that I wasn't, in fact, interested in girls. And she told me time and time again that it would be safe in our family if I were. Off I went to university, where I worked in a cafe with a lesbian. She also had the "it's okay to be gay" conversation with me, only hers involved a lot more shouting. There was hard evidence. I had a pixie haircut. I played rugby. I was in women's studies. I read Cosmopolitan and Bitch magazine. And I sat on the board of the Women's Center. But having no, not a lesbian mom, that's me. Having a liberal mom meant that I was okay with the idea of being a lesbian. I just didn't think I was one. If I was going to be a lesbian, I would just be a lesbian. Besides, I thought to myself, if you're going to explore lesbianism, it's in university, right? A few years later, I married a kind, generous, and supportive man. He supported me in my decision to go back to university, where I discovered that I was, in fact, attracted to women. After the initial sadness of ending a marriage and a life together, he was my biggest supporter. He bought me a Tegan and Sarah album, his version of an "it's okay to be gay" gift. He let me know that I was safe. Next, it came out to my dad. My dad has always been incredibly supportive, and he was no different when I came out to him. He told me he loved me, nothing would change for us, and he let me know that I was safe. I came out to my brother. My brother is not known for his words, and he sat across from the couch from me, shrugged his shoulders, said, "What's the big deal? Could you just pass me the Oreos?" And let me know, in his own twisted way, that I was safe. I came out to my friends. They were shocked that I was ending a marriage, but they were even more shocked that they would have to stop saying, "That's so gay," and learn some new vocabulary. I called my Nana, and I came out to my Nana. She said, "Jenny, this is great. Now you can come back to church with me." It took every muscle in my body to stop my eyes from rolling to the back of my head, worried for the first time that I wasn't safe. "Yes," she continued, "my minister's a lesbian. She's getting married and planning a lesbian wedding. They've asked me to sing, and I need help picking lesbian love songs." For weeks, I fielded telephone calls from my Nana asking for advice on the correct love song she should sing at a lesbian wedding. My Nana let me know that I was safe. And finally, I came out to my mom. I imagined after years of disappointing her, she would be jumping for joy at finally having that street cred and having a lesbian daughter. But I was wrong. My mom hugged me and said, "I love you and I will always support you." But then she also laid out the truth. She said, "I would be lying if I told you this makes me happy. I can't be happy about this. You are about to experience discrimination and hatred unlike you have ever experienced. There are people in this world who will hate you simply because of who you love. No parent would want that for their child. I can't protect you from this. I can't keep you safe." I've been really lucky since that day to have faced very little discrimination in my life. But the discrimination I have felt is ever present. It's like a darkness that lurks beneath the surface. It's the breath that catches in my throat when someone asks me if I have a boyfriend. It's the glance I take when I kiss my fiance goodbye when she drops me off in the morning to see who's watching. And it's those terrifying moments that pass after I first come out to someone, wondering if I'm safe. These moments are ever present. They're pervasive. They weigh me down. Although I hesitate to share my sexuality with strangers, I never once hesitated to share my sexuality with my mom. By addressing homosexuality as a child, she let me know that it was okay to be gay. Having liberal and progressive parents in my life meant that I knew that it was safe to be gay. It meant that I would always be safe.